Welcome, welcome, welcome. Huge news today. I'm sure most people have heard by now that Biden has decided to step away. He decided to drop out of the race. No surprise to me, of course. I just said, what was it, 2 days ago maybe, that Biden has no longer than 2 weeks before he's gonna step down, and there you have it. He's stepping down. He's stepping aside. Um, Rumors are he's gonna endorse Kamala Harris. So I'm gonna be going over a lot of news here and going over some more news. Let's see, is this the article I want to start with before we jump into it? Okay, yeah, we're not gonna start off with that one. We're gonna start off with another one here. We'll get to that article about him endorsing. We'll get to him endorsing Camilla in a minute. We want to get to this one first. Okay. Yeah. Again, I called it. I called it 2 days ago because once I saw Barack Obama come out and it was leaked saying that Barack Obama was telling them to step aside, I knew it was the end. For them to let that out, I knew it was the end. Um, so yeah, let's jump into this crazy news. Hold on a second. Let me fix my title here, and then we can jump right into this. Let's see. Just noticed I messed up my title here. Okay. Y'all also check me out on X. I'm very active on X now. A little bit of Instagram, not really. I mean, Instagram really is not that thing for me, but I love X now. So check me out on X. Um, Also check out my Patreon. I don't think I posted anything on Patreon yet this month, but I'm gonna be putting out some stuff this week for Patreon. For my Patreon subscribers, I appreciate y'all. Shout out Copper Mutant. Appreciate your support as well. Um, I'm a little disappointed, to be honest though. I wanted Biden to stay in. I really did. I really did want him to stay in because it was a crap show and it was showing how terrible the Democrat Party really is. Now it's going to be a fight for who is going to be on that ticket. My bets are on Kamala Harris because I think Democrats know they're going to lose because the economy is so bad. Economy is so terrible. I think they're going to lose. And it been talks about Hillary Clinton jumping in there. I think if that happened, the black elites, the black bourgeoisie will be upset for them passing over Kamala Harris. So that'll be a fight there if that does happen. I don't know. Either way, we live in strange times. So before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this important information out there. Speaking of share, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon, and that's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. I'm posting the X real quick. We live. Biden drops out of race. All right, post that to my X real quick, and we're good to go. All right, so let's jump into this. Let's talk about this crazy news. Like I said, I think it was 2 days ago on one of my videos, I said Biden only has 2 weeks. 2 weeks, because once I heard Barack Obama talking, they let it out the bag that Barack Obama was pushing him out. I knew it was the end for him. I knew it was the end for him. All right, so let's get into this. So Biden ends bid for second term in White House as he drops out of his 2024 rematch with Trump. So again, people been alluding to Hillary Clinton. We'll do a whole thing on that. We'll follow some. We'll talk about some stuff. Some posts on X would show that Hillary Clinton definitely have ambitions again. So yeah, so President Biden announced Sunday that he will suspend. I'm sorry, this is from Fox News. President Biden announced Sunday that he will suspend his 2024 re-election campaign amid mounting pressure from within the Democrat Party for the president to end his 2024 bid after a disastrous debate performance last month. The unprecedented announcement came as an increasing number of Democrat lawmakers have begun to publicly call for Biden to step aside, and the party's leadership reportedly was engaged in efforts to convince Biden, who's 81, he could not win the general election against former President Trump, the 2024 GOP nominee, who Biden defeated 4 years ago to win the White House. Hold on one second. One second. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting messages and stuff. You know, when the missus hit you up, you gotta respond. All right. And Biden quickly offered his full support and endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris to take over as the party's presidential nominee. Now, a lot of Democrats don't want that because of incompetence. They know how incompetent Kamala really is. They didn't expect her to have to take over for Biden, really. That's what I think was really going on. And, you know, it was the diversity hire. She was terrible AG in California when she was let people in prison, let men stay in prison, black men in particular stay in prison, just so they can fill the quotas they needed for the slave labor, which is just despicable. Innocent people that she knew was innocent, she kept them in prison. She's a disgusting person. How soon we forget what happened when she was in AG in California. But quote, he said, quote, "It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president," Biden wrote in a public letter. "While it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." Biden said he will formally address the nation later this week about his decision. Again, we knew it was coming. We called it. He goes on to say, "For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected," Biden wrote. "I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me." Biden added, "I believe today what I always have. that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. In a social media post, Biden backed Harris to take over as party's standard bearer. Quote, my first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this, Biden wrote. Oh, man, I love it. Excuse me. So there's going to be a Kamala Biden debate. Trump debate. That would be very interesting because once if Trump try to go in on Kamala, they're gonna call sexism, racism, all the isms that we're used to. That's how they try to squash people from even calling them out or criticizing them. So I can already see that happening. We saw it happening when he was going when Trump went against Hillary Clinton. So you can double that. Not only the woman card they're gonna pull the race card. Call her a black woman, and even though her entire life she considered herself an Indian, but that's a whole nother thing. So they're gonna try all of those things to try to take out Trump. The president's endorsement is likely to dissuade any serious completion from other Democrats who may have mulled a bid for the presidential nomination and could clear a path for the vice president to succeed Biden as the primary nominee. I don't know how true that is because a lot of people are reading the tea leaves and know that because of mainly two of the major things is the economy and immigration, Democrats fall flat on. So they know that it's going to be a wave this election cycle with or without Biden, no matter what Democrat you put in there. So I think Democrats know that, and a lot of them are like, you know what, I don't want to run to lose. So a lot of Democrats are gonna wait until 2028, I believe, and let probably just let Kamala have it. Biden was also diagnosed with COVID-19 on Wednesday, a revelation that came on the heels of several TV interviews and campaign appearances in which the president insisted he was remaining in the race, but the interviews failed to reassure supporters and provided critics, including those on the left, with further evidence that Biden was no longer up to the job. Biden had delivered a strong welcome address to world leaders at last week's NATO summit in Washington, D.C. The showcase served as an opportunity to prove he was fit to continue his current term and eager and able to lead the nation for another 4 years. For a time, it seemed Biden could survive the surge of calls for him to quit the race after House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announced that they backed Biden's bid. Again, once it came out that Obama was saying behind the scenes that Biden needed to step aside, I knew it was done for him. I knew they stuck the fork at him. It was over. He couldn't last much longer after that. What's up, Copper Mutant? Copper Mutant said, hold on, let me fix my thing. I can't read all of it here. Here we go. Copper Mutant said, hey, JJ, ready for all the We Love Joe and all the accomplishment. I'm sorry, man. I can't read. Oh, here we go. Accomplishments, but did the right thing, sappy MSM coverage. Oh, yeah. You know it's coming. You know it's going to be coming. I'm going to definitely find some clips and talk about that. You know they're going to be puckering up and pretending like he's the best president ever, and he's going to act like this man freed the slaves and stuff. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Let's see, Gavin Newsom said President Biden has been extraordinary. See, it's starting already, Copper Mutant. It's starting already. President Biden has been an extraordinary, history-making president. A leader who has fought hard for working people. Yeah, fought hard to make everything we need to purchase in life expensive. He fought very hard for that, absolutely, and delivered astonishing results for all Americans. Yeah, negative results for all Americans. They live in a different world. People like Gavin Newsom live in a different world and have no idea how hard it is to live in America today with the cost of everything. He goes on to say he will go down in history as one of the most impactful and selfless presidents. Oh my gosh, let the cape begin. Let the caping begin. My goodness. But Biden, who has long been known for propensity to commit gaffes, continued to stumble. I'm stumbling talking about it. His missteps included a glaring error on the world stage at the NATO summit. While speaking on live television, Biden referred to Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky as Putin. We all remember that. Name-checking Russian President Vladimir Putin, whose invasion of Zelensky's Ukraine has precipitated more than 2 years of hellish wars. One of the biggest gaffes that that I remember Biden doing was when he went to I can't remember what function it was. He was at some function where he said he asked where the lady was. Where is she? I think it was a senator or a mayor or something like that. And she had died, and Biden forgot that she had died, and he was giving a speech and asking where she was. Hey, where is she? I know she's around here somewhere. It was so embarrassing and so sad. And the media covered that up. And this happened months ago. Questions over whether Biden would end his campaign remain the top political story heading into last weekend. But two blockbuster developments in rapid succession: the attempted assassination of Trump at the former president's rally in Western Pennsylvania on Saturday, and Trump's naming Monday at the Republican National Convention of Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio as his running mate, briefly halted the fervor over Biden for a couple of days. But the call on Wednesday by Rep. Adam Schiff, the Democratic Senate nominee in California, for Biden to end his campaign, as well as reporting that top Democrats such as Schumer, Jeffries, and former Speaker Nancy Pelosi had frank conversations with Biden, quickly reigniting the political crisis for the president. Biden's stunning announcement occurred during a roughish stretch of what was more than a year-long campaign for a second term. Doubts about his viability at the top of the Democrat Party's 2024 ticket began seeping out into the mainstream after his halting delivery and awkward answers were placed on full display for a national audience during June's presidential debate with Trump in Atlanta. The performance sparked widespread panic within the president's party and almost immediately spurred calls from political pundits, editorial writers, and some party donors for Biden to step aside as the party's 2024 standard bearer. I think they put him in front of the people like that on purpose to get rid of him. Somebody did. Because no one in their right mind would have put that blabbering man on live television to talk like he talked. As Biden struggled to regain his footing, an increasing number of House Democrats publicly urged the president to end his re-election bid. Biden huddled with worried Democrats, including governors and congressional leaders, in the wake of the debate, and also was engaged in working the phones, according to campaign officials. Now we're gonna check the sentiment on X in a minute, but I want to get through this article. He started last week in a defiant posture, sending a letter to congressional Democrats in which he vowed that he was committed to campaigning against and beating Trump in November. Biden also urged lawmakers to stop focusing on the debate and end the calls for withdrawal, pleas that he said only helped Trump. Biden followed that up with a call with members of the Congressional Black Caucus, and also gained the support of members of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. But concerns mounted and intensified. Democrats met behind closed doors, hoping to come to a consensus and support the president, but some were hesitant. The Biden campaign met with the Senate on Capitol Hill, and for days, the White House and the Biden campaign and the president himself said he had no intention of dropping out. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre had told reporters that the president was absolutely not considering dropping out. Again, we don't know the story here. I'm not gonna continue on with this article. We all know what happened here. Again, not very much surprised. Let me see. I don't have to get to the one article here because we already talked about him endorsing. We already talked about him endorsing Camilla. So let's talk about let's see what Trump has to say about this, and then we'll check out what's the sentiment on X. Okay, here we go. All right. Trump says Biden is not fit to serve. Who is he going to be running? Who's going to be running the country for the next 5 months? So this is an older thing. I thought this was something new. Former President Trump said President Biden was not fit to run for president and is not and never was fit to serve. The Republican presidential nominee was reaching to Biden's stunning announcement Sunday. Was reacting. So this is recent. The Republican presidential nominee was reacting to Biden's stunning announcement Sunday afternoon that he is suspending his re-election campaign. Quote, "He is the worst president in the history of our country," Trump told Fox News Digital in a phone interview Sunday afternoon. And I'm telling you, I definitely agree. I think he's one of the worst presidents we have ever had. He took a booming economy, even after COVID, and destroyed it. It made it even worse. It goes on to say, quote, "There has never been a president so bad. He is not fit to serve," Trump continued. And I asked, who is going to be running the country for the next 5 months? The former president also reportedly told CNN on Sunday that he believes Vice President Kamala Harris would be easier to defeat in the November election. I don't know. I mean, at least Camilla. I mean, even though she's not a great debater. I don't think she's very intelligent. We see her talk all the time. I don't think she's worse than Biden when it comes to stuff like that. Because at least we can, even though she makes no sense, we can understand what she's saying. With Biden stumbling, fumbling, and mumbling through conversations, we don't know what he's trying to say most of the time. But Trump also posted on his Truth Social Sunday afternoon, writing, quote, "Crooked Joe Biden was not fit to run for president and is certainly not fit to serve and never was. He only attained the position of president by lies, fake news, and not leaving his basement." That's what I said. That's why we called him hiding Biden in 2020. Trump said that, quote, "All those around him, including his doctor and the media, knew that he wasn't capable of being president, and he wasn't. Now look at what he's done to our country with millions of people coming across our border, totally unchecked and unvetted, many from prisons, mental institutions, and record numbers of terrorists," he wrote. "We will suffer greatly because of his presidency, but we will remedy the damage he has done very quickly." He added, "Make America great again." And Trump's comments come 1 week after he survived an assassination attempt and just days after formally becoming the 2024 Republican presidential nominee. Biden announced Sunday that he will suspend his 2024 re-election campaign amid mounting pressure from his Democratic colleagues on Capitol Hill, top donors, and Hollywood stars after a disastrous debate performance last month. We already talked about all that. The unprecedented announcement came as an increasing number of Democrat lawmakers has begun to publicly call for Biden to step aside, and the party leadership reportedly was engaged in an effort to convince Biden he would not win the November general election. Again, I don't know if anyone they could put in place could win the 2024 election. Let me see if there's anything else in here we need to cover. Nope. All right, so let's check out what the internet has to say about what's happening right now. 1 second. Let me grab my headphones because this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Oh, man. The internet is undefeated. Says my headphones are still pairing. Hold on a second. Let me make sure my Bluetooth is good to go. Oops. Okay, why is it not? There we go. All right. Why is my Bluetooth not opening up? Hold on one second, y'all. Sorry about that. I should have had this already ready. Show Bluetooth. Now it's connected. Okay, we're good. We're good. Now it's connected. All right. All right. So, Don Lucre with his crazy self. He is hilarious. Never forget how Kamala Harris got her start. She isn't a stranger to Diddy parties in LA either. All right.
Long before she met Doug Emhoff, she dated some prominent men, including in 2000.
Let me refresh my screen here.
There's a myth that President Biden's running for president. I think they just put a brain-dead, hollowed-out husk of a human being in the White House because that's more convenient for them. The risk is a thinking person could change their mind. They don't want somebody who could change their mind. They want Joe Biden.
Mark my words, Joe Biden will not be the nominee for the Democratic Party.
We know he's not even the president of the United States. He's a puppet for the managerial class. Step up and be honest about who you're actually going to put up so we can have an honest debate. Biden should step aside.
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I definitely can't. Let's see. Connect. There we go. And let's refresh. Let's see if this will play now.
There's a myth that President Biden's...
There we go. All right. I got my audio. Sorry about that, y'all. You know, sometimes stuff happens. Boomer tech, but I'm not a boomer, so you figure it out, right? Oh, hold on a sec. 1 second. I need to grab one more thing here. My YouTube screen disappeared. And studio and live. Okay. Why is it something? Okay. All right. So sorry about that, y'all. I had to get my stuff together here. So, Vivek said the anatomy of how a conspiracy theory became reality in just 18 months. Sorry, I know it played in the background when I was trying to figure out my audio, but I'm gonna play it again because I haven't seen it. So, bear with me. Here we go.
There's a myth that President Biden's running for president. I think they just put a brain-dead, hollowed-out husk of a human being in the White House because that's more convenient for them. The risk is a thinking person could change their mind. They don't want somebody who could change their mind. They want Joe Biden.
Mark my words, Joe Biden will not be the nominee for the Democratic Party.
We know he's not even the president of the United States. He's a puppet for the managerial class. Step up and be honest about who you're actually going to put up so we can have an honest debate. Biden should step aside so we can see whether it's Newsom or Michelle Obama or whoever else.
All right,
just
Mr.
tell us the truth so we can have an honest debate.
Right. Right.
President is healthy and vigorous, fit enough to perform his presidential duties.
Fit for duty.
Fit for duty. Fit to successfully execute the duties of the presidency.
Gaslight on top of gaslight.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
There's a myth that President Biden's running for president. I think they just put a brain-dead, hollowed-out...
We all knew it. Great on Vivek to put that together. I'm gonna repost that. Great stuff. Ashley saying, "Care a lot of you owe Vivek Ramaswamy an apology for clowning on him as a conspiracy theorist." Well, he said this. Okay, so we get the point of that. 9 days ago. Let's play that.
What's Joe Biden going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? Here's my answer. I am running, and we're going to win. I'm not going to change that.
I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to change that, he said. Schoon said, Curtis Schoon, shout out to Curtis Schoon. He said, I could be wrong, but I don't see Camilla or Trump in the White House. Trump needed Biden. Biden made Trump look sharp. Younger, sharper minds are going to pounce on Trump like never before. I don't know. I disagree with you. Schoon. Again, all they have to do is harken back to the economy and the border. That's it. That's all Trump needs to talk about, and he got this. Sherry said, had Trump been assassinated, Rothschild, BlackRock, Vanguard, Bushes, and Cheney stood to gain $696 billion up to $1 trillion in profits, because they put a put on Trump media. Yeah, that's true. A quarter of the entire portfolio shorted DJT stock the day before the assassination attempt. That's true. They knew. It's like they knew. It's kind of like when 9/11 happened. People pulled money and stuff like that right before it happened. It's like what a coincidence. Like they just happened to make the right decision. On this part, if Trump would have been assassinated, which they tried to do, they would have made a lot of money. So it's like they knew it was gonna happen, right? Let's play this.
Stock would have become zero in a day. Austin Private Wealth shorted 12 million shares of Donald Trump's stock on July 12th. So here's everything that you need to know about Austin Private Wealth. Because if it's not an input error, it's definitely not intentional, right? As you can see, an event starkly reminiscent of strange trading activity just before the what attacks in 2001? On July 12th, do keep in mind, a day before July 13th, 12 million. Ironically, Austin Private Wealth's highest shareholders just so happen to be BlackRock and Vanguard. So what is a put option, people might ask? Well, like it says here, I pulled this good article that explains it very thoroughly. Ironically, a put option is an investment made by someone who expects a company's stock price to fall. I have no idea why they worded it wrong right there, but this still explains it pretty clearly. People who engage in inside trading by put options can make 5 times or sometimes even 100 times profits, depending on how quickly the stock plummets. And like it says here, hypothetically, if Trump did die in the assassination attempt, his company would have become worthless. Its stock would have become zero in a day. And hypothetically, the people who bought put options would have made billions in profit. The action that was taken was they shorted 12 million shares of Donald Trump's stock. Now this is the most important part, right? The potential impact that they listed was a significant loss supposedly for the company. What? And as you can see, this portfolio impact was nearly a quarter of their entire portfolio. And their portfolio value was about $1 billion in assets under management. And as you can see, in case of events like Trump's death, the value of Trump Media and Technology Group shares would have plummeted, and the put options held by companies such as the Austin Private Wealth would have been worth billions. Also, supposedly according to reports, ironically, Austin Private Wealth has also bought 36 million puts of Rumble on July 12th the same day. And supposedly, like it says right here, it's common knowledge that Rumble stock would have plummeted too if something had happened to Trump. Do keep in mind, these are all different articles, okay? Now this is the most interesting part of it all, right? Some of Austin Private Wealth's top holdings, as reported in their latest 13F filing, include the Rothschild family, BlackRock, Vanguard, Meta, George Bush, and the Cheney family. What? And like it says here, Trump's death would have crashed the NASDAQ and DOW Jones for a week. And hypothetically, supposedly according to some estimates, anyone who had this knowledge beforehand would have made an estimated $696 billion to $1 trillion in profits. I'm sure it's just a coincidence that just a month ago, BlackRock and Citadel Securities started backing a TXSE group to launch the Texas Stock Exchange. And as you can see earlier this year, specifically in March, BlackRock created a fund with Securitize, supposedly a big player in real-world asset tokenization. And of course, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, aka my fucking grandfather, said in an interview earlier that the company's filings for spot Bitcoin and other ETFs were stepping stones towards tokenization. And have you noticed what Ken Griffin's latest investments have been, aka the CEO of Citadel Securities? Because when you do, things start to get really interesting. And ironically, this just so happened to happen in 2020. I'm sure you can read that for yourself, right? And why might that be so important? Well, because one of Ken Griffin's major investments just so happened to be in Amazon. And wow, you can easily find things just like this. This was in 2022, right? Amazon leaks Greek what project? Everything starts to make sense eventually.
Crazy. Sorry, I'm adding, let's see what else we got going on here. Hold on. Alright, what a coincidence. Y'all know I don't believe in coincidences. Let's see what else we got going on. Colin Rugg. Trump was ridiculed by the media earlier this month when a hidden video camera captured him saying he beat Trump so badly in the debate that Kabila would be replacing him. Today became a reality. Wow. Alex Jones nailed it again. Let's see what Alex Jones said here.
And I saw such incredible deep state pressure last week. I said, I think Biden will be gone by I think I said the 20th or 21st.
According to multiple Democratic sources, this is happening all of a sudden. Everyone said it would happen gradually and then all at once, and that's what's happening. According to my sources, President Biden has agreed to step down as the Democratic nominee.
Oh, man.
It will happen as early as this weekend. A speech has been drafted for him.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening.
It's done. It's done. Rosie O'Donnell on the verge of tears. The therapist isn't helping me to cope with the election. Our democracy could die before Thanksgiving. These people are whack jobs. You need a new therapist, lady. Let's go to this.
The whole thing is very, very unnerving. It's very unnerving. And 100 days, you know, people are saying to me, my therapist actually said to me, well, it's a long time between now and November. No, it isn't. We're about to start school again. You know how quick all of a sudden it's Halloween, and then it's Thanksgiving break. So by Thanksgiving break, we're going to know whether we still have democracy in the United States.
Wow.
That's not a long time.
People are crazy.
It's a long time to worry every day, I can tell you that. I'm excited about the Olympics starting. That gets me excited, so I'll be cheering for that. And that's all I got today, people. Nothing big. Take care of yourselves. TikTok, you don't stop. Don't only watch the TV news. Don't, because it's... Listen, you can worry, and time's still going to go, and what's going to happen is going to happen. So, you know, the wisdom to know the difference, the things I can control, right? The things you can't, wisdom to know the difference.
It's sad.
It's all in that, wisdom to know the difference.
It's sad that she got to
right?
live like that.
Drive yourself crazy. You can. Drive yourself completely bonkers. Believe me, I know. But boy, it's scary. Boy, is it scary. They're not kidding around. Right to an authoritarian dictatorship. America got no idea what's coming if he wins, and boy, it's not good. Okay. Anyway, happy. Talk to you soon. Bye.
She's trying to convince herself. It's sad that she has that someone has to live like that and actually believe that it's the end of democracy if President Trump will win. It's wild. It's wild that she says she's seeing a therapist, which is good. Hopefully the therapist is telling her like, hey, you know, it's really not that bad. You hyping yourself up. And you see she's trying to, then she try to at the end try to say happy to try to calm herself down. But you can tell that Hollywood, man. Hollywood. That's all I can say. They live in a bubble. Jimmy Dore says, feel like this was the party plan all along, which is why they didn't allow any debates or a real primary, and why they had to make sure they forced RFK out of the primary, because he would be the next in line for the nomination in this situation. Doing it this way, only loyal, let's see what else he says. Doing it this way, only loyal establishment party delegates would be selected for the convention. So when the party finally forced Biden out, they would have only establishment loyal delegates to choose the new nominee, assuring an establishment nominee. So the Democrats rigged another primary, which makes that three in a row from the party who says that democracy is on the ballot. LOL. That's what everyone keeps calling them out on their hypocrisy. Once again, the Democrat Party doesn't have elections. They have a selection for the presidential nominee, and you're just gonna have to take it. Facts. Declaration of memes. Let's see your best memes. When you meme them till the delete tweet, okay. Jeremy Juckins said Tesla owners are adding wiper fluid around the same time gas car owners needs to go in for an oil change. $3 for wiper fluid. How much is an oil change these days? Okay. Don LaCrae, he said the head of lettuce that has maintained over 200K live viewers has officially outlived Joe Biden. It was the projected winner at 52% on Poly Market. Wow. Yeah, I remember they had a head of lettuce there, and then wondering will the lettuce outlive Joe Biden's 2024 presidential run, and it did. Let's see. Media blackout. 10 news stories they choose not to tell you this week. Number 10, Joe Rogan raises serious question about the Trump assassination attempt. They have here. Let's play this clip here. I haven't seen this one. Let's play this.
BlackRock thing too, right?
Yeah, he did a BlackRock commercial. They knew that there was a suspicious person 10 minutes before Trump went on stage. They still wouldn't let him go on stage. They saw him on the fucking roof, and they didn't engage.
Yeah.
They saw him on the roof with a rifle.
It's a bad
They didn't
Secret
engage.
Service right there.
They wouldn't put Secret Service agents on the roof because they said there was a slope to the roof.
Right.
And it would be dangerous.
It's more dangerous if the ex-president gets shot.
Bro,
which he did.
They let him get off. The kid got off 3 shots, and apparently there was one that we saw that hit his ear, and you see the bullet. Like the photographer got a bullet.
I saw that
flying by his head.
Yeah.
But apparently there's another one of a bullet going by his left side of his head. So it went by the right side of his head, hit his ear, went by the left side of his head as well. Because the guy got off 3 shots.
Yeah.
And he just missed Trump
And
every time.
There was the one shot of him like turning his head, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It was that close?
Dude, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And the fact that they had such poor security guarding him, like they did such a terrible job.
My
They knew
uncle's
the guy was
convinced it's
there.
bullshit. My
Dude,
uncle's like, there's no way this is real.
I don't think it's not real, but look, here's the deal. Okay, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Just want to be real clear.
Yeah.
But they have organized assassinations before.
Sure.
And when they organize
Usually starts a war.
assassinations, it looks just like that. And when they organize assassinations, one of the things they like to do is have some fucking loser kill the president, and then they kill the fucking loser, and that's a wrap. This
Yeah.
kind of like stops all the leads.
Oh,
Everything's
man.
like, where's he go? So they have his phone. They say they can't get into his phone. Bitch, I know you read my text messages.
Yeah,
So
why
how
is it taking
could
so
you
long
not
to
get
break
in that
into this
kid's
shit?
phone? How can you not get in that kid's phone?
It's always
They
shit.
knew that if this kid was going to go on the roof and shoot the president, they could talk him into going on the roof. Let's assume, not even this scenario, because
Yeah.
let's not be crazy. Let's just say if you wanted to set up a scenario, we're going to have someone assassinate the president. You get some guy whose life is a fucking complete and total disaster. You either hypnotize him or you mentor him, you give him psychiatric drugs, you do a bunch of things, you get him to do it, and you know that once he gets on top of that roof and shoots the president, everyone's going to shoot him. And it's nice and clean. They never let those guys live.
My question is, though, how? Of course, but my question is, do you want him actually to kill Trump in this scenario?
Yeah. They definitely wanted him to kill Trump.
Yeah, they definitely wanted him to kill Trump. We got proof. We got proof from like BlackRock and them betting against Trump media empire the day before the man get assassinated. It's crazy. And everything had to line up perfectly for this unknown kid to hop on a roof and shoot the president. The stars had to be aligned. Everything had to be perfect. Everyone had to ignore the numerous calls from other from people there saying that there's a weird dude on the roof. They had to totally ignore that several times. I mean, to make this happen, like, this is crazy. If anyone believes that this is just a lone wolf kid trying to take out the president, it just doesn't happen like that. So I have another article here. We'll come back to X in a second. Hold on. We'll come back to X in a second. I got some more news here that came across my phone. Oops, nope, sorry, wrong one. Sorry about that. 1 second. Here's the article. Here we go. All right. So Clinton's endorsed Kamala Harris hours after Biden drops out. Crazy. Like, y'all know that it was rumors that Hillary Clinton was going to try to take over, was going to try to run. You know, that was the big news last night, that popped up last night. But now it looks like the Clintons endorsed Kamala. Maybe they read the tea leaves too and know that, you know, there's no point in trying to run. Trump got it on lock. This is from Fox News. They said former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton announced Sunday that they are endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris for the Democratic nomination for president after President Biden said he would not seek re-election. 1 second here. Okay. All right, just checking what the time is. Sorry about that, y'all. Biden announced Sunday that he is suspending his 2024 re-election campaign and announced his full support and endorsement for Harris to take over as the party's presidential nominee. In a statement, the Clintons said Biden, quote, has capped his extraordinary career of service with the presidency that has lifted America out of an unprecedented pandemic. The pandemic would have ended on its own. He didn't really do anything to end it except for mandate a bunch of crap to end up hurting people. But I digress. The article goes, Hillary Clinton goes on, the Clintons goes on to say, created millions of new jobs that were created, we know went to illegal immigrants. The majority of those jobs, we did, there've been studies to show this is just crazy. I could do a whole entire show on that. Rebuilt a battered economy. That's so laughable. That is so laughable because, again, we know what the truth is here. Look at the economy. I don't even have to speak on it. I spoke on it several times. Strengthen our democracy. Yeah, strengthen our democracy by getting rid of democracy, right? No one get to choose who the Democratic president will be. We getting handed one, right? That's democracy now. And restored our standing in the world. Yeah, by being a laughing stock because we allowed this fumbling, mumbling guy to go around to represent us. By any measure, he has advanced our founders' charge to build a more perfect union and his own stated goal of restoring the soul of our nation. So much crap there. So much crap there. Goes on to say, we join millions of Americans in thanking President Biden for all of his all he has accomplished, standing up for America time and again, and his North Star always being what's best for the country. They said in their joint statement, we are honored to join the president in endorsing Vice President Harris and will do whatever we can to support her. We lived through many ups and downs, but nothing has made us more worried of our country than the threat posed by a second Trump term. Yeah, threat because we're going to bring back law and order, and all of y'all corrupt politicians is going to get your just desserts. You're going to be prosecuted for your crimes. He has promised to be a dictator on day one, and the recent ruling by his servile Supreme Court, they hate the Supreme Court, will only embolden him to further shred the Constitution. Now is the time to support Kamala Harris and fight with everything we've got to elect her. America's future depends on it. Oh my gosh, these people are so hyperbolic. But they should be. They're afraid. The Hillary Clintons, the Clintons in general, are afraid that their dirt will come to light, and they will be prosecuted and ostracized for the crimes that they have committed against humanity, and they're worried about that coming. They're worried about that coming to light. So of course they're going to support who's ever on that Democrat ticket. But Biden's announcement came after weeks of speculation and pressure from Democrats for him to step aside after a disastrous presidential debate performance against Republican nominee and former President Donald Trump. Quote, it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, Biden wrote in a public letter. Yeah, I'm not going to read it. I already read all that. In a social media post after the letter, Biden backed Harris. You know, we talked about that already. There's nothing else new there. But you get the gist of that. So let's go back. So now we got a Hillary Clinton. We got a Hillary Clinton endorsement. A Clinton's endorsement now. So it looks like Hillary Clinton is out. Those stories of that popped up last night turned out to not be true. Here's Dom McCrae said, Democrats, we don't lie to our voters. So let's hear let's hear the lie here.
What's Joe Biden going to do? Is he going to stay in the race? Is he going to drop out? Here's mine. I am running, and we're going to win. I'm not going to change that.
You're not going to change that. Yeah, we just saw
What's
that.
Joe Biden going to do? Is he going to?
Yeah. Hold on a second. I'm trying to grab me some of my zero sugar Mountain Dew here. One of my favorite drinks. All right, Brandon Tatum, Trump having an ad all ready to go for Camilla is epic. Let's check it out.
Kamala owns this failed record. Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising. Kamala was in on it. She covered up Joe's obvious mental decline.
Our president is in good shape, in good health, tireless, vibrant, and I have no doubt about the strength of the work that we have done.
But Kamala knew Joe couldn't do the job, so she did it. Look what she got done. A border invasion, runaway inflation, the American dream dead. They created this mess. Kamala owns this failed record. Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising. Kamala was in on it. She covered.
Wow, they had that joke. You're right. They had that joke ready to go. They knew it too. They had it in the holster ready as soon as soon as Biden stepped down. They had that ad ready to go to show Camilla. Y'all know I'm from the hood. I call it Camilla because I'm from the hood. You know, everyone. It's hard for me to say Kamala. Remember to say Kamala. Always say Camilla. It's not out of any disrespect or anything like that. It's just my country twang. But but I will say she is incompetent. We know about that. We know how she ended up at the top. I'm not even gonna go over that because I talked about it way back when she was running in the primaries. Elon Musk said exactly on what? Joe just dropped out. The Democrat elite, corporate media, and billionaire donors successfully pressured the candidate chosen by Democrat primary voters to drop out because he's down in the polls and losing. Elon Musk said exactly. Right? I'm going to heart that. Fairbuck, these men started being racist to a group of black kids crossing the road. What? What is this? What are they being racist at? How are they being racist? Let's see. Hey,
are they allowed to let these little nigglets take threats? The nigglets are making threats. Can you arrest the nigglets? Please arrest the nigglets.
Like that.
Hey, stop making threats.
They have to accompany the nigglets through town, everybody.
Future engineers. Future engineers. Hey, you guys are the future.
It is terrible. It is terrible. All right, let's look at this. Unusual Wales said, Trump said, quote, I love Elon Musk. Let's play this.
Electric cars, but I don't mean I'm totally for them, but whatever the market says, and if it's 10% of the market, 12%, 7%, 20%, whatever it is, it's okay. But you can't have 100% electric cars. And you know, so Elon endorsed me recently, the other day, actually. He's great. Elon Musk. He's a brilliant guy. Every time I call him, he's talking about, I got a new idea for a rocket. You have to hear this? No, it's true. You know, the first time I ever saw this, I'm watching television like 3 years ago, and I see a rocket engine, motor engine, come down landing, straight up in, no wings, no nothing, and it's landing. And I thought I was seeing things. What is that? and it's landing on a barge in the middle of the ocean. And then another one comes down, and another one. I guess 4 of them came down, 3 or 4, and they land upright. I said, what the hell was that? I've never seen that before. Now, if that were government, you wouldn't see that for another 50 to 100 years. But it was Elon.
Thanks.
Now, think of that. And I called him, and I've always had a good relationship with him, but I called him, and I said, what was that? He said, well, we saved the engines. We saved the engines because it's very expensive to build. So, I mean, it didn't take me long to figure that if you save them, that's good. But who the hell thought you could do that? No wings, no nothing. Just like these big, long, massive tubes. And they're landing gently right on the dot. I said, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And you say, how long would it take government to come up with that one? I don't think they ever heard of it. Perhaps they still haven't heard of it. But, you know, he's a very advanced person, and he's doing other things that are great, and so are other. We have to make life good for our smart people, you know? We have some smart people. We have to make life good for our smart people. And he's as smart as you get. Yeah. But Elon endorsed me the other day, and I didn't even know this. He didn't even tell me about it. But he gives me $45 million a month. A month. Not 45 million. Gives me 45 million a month. And I talked to him just a little while ago to say I was coming here, how you doing? And he didn't even mention it. He didn't mention. I mean, other guys, they give you $2 and you got to take them to lunch. You got to wine them, dine them. No, he's a...
Trump, man, he's so real, man. He's so real. That's why I love him.
And you know, Elon, I love.
He's so real. It's like you shooting the breeze or something, like a friend, you know. He's sitting there like, yeah, man, they expecting you to. They give you $2. They expect you to wine and dine them. You know, Elon gave me some money. I ain't even mentioned it, man. Elon a real dude. You know what I'm saying? That's what Trump is saying. Yo, Trump is off the chain for that. Trump is off the chain for that. Trump is a real one, yo. He's a real one. Red Pill Drifters research J. Edgar Hoover and Shirley Temple warning you this is not a rabbit hole. Okay. Oh, wow. Wow, that is some disturbing. Why would you get close in a little kid face like that? Wow. That is a disturbing picture. Oh, that is disturbing. Shooter Gavin. Democrats escort Joe Biden out of the White House. That's pretty funny. I'm gonna have to repost that. That's pretty funny. Oh man. Let's see. Nas. Black Americans do not celebrate Dawili. Camilla Harris is 100% an Indian woman who cosplay as a black American to fool real black Americans into voting for Democrats. I 1000% agree. I'm gonna repost that too. I should have quote tweeted it, but it's all good. Let's see what we got here. MJ Truth. Holy smokes. Trump assassination attempt. It's all about the blow up. Senator Ron Johnson, a second shooter. Yeah, I keep hearing stories about this second shooter. I don't know how valid it is or not. I don't know. I can't say that there was. I can't say that it wasn't. I'm really not there yet. But I keep hearing a lot of stories about a second shooter. I know right after it happened, they interviewed that lady, and that lady said like she was sure there was another shooter on the tower, and the police had like blocked that area off and everything. So I don't know. And a mystery ATF agent that now gone dark. What? July 13th, Secret Service did not attend the 9 a.m. security meeting with local law enforcement. What? Why wouldn't they show up? So let's just play this clip here.
That was a 9 a.m. meeting on July 13th. You sent a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland, Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, and Director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, about this epic failure of security. Can you walk us through what you'd like to see and your preliminary findings of your investigation, which has now become bipartisan? Is that correct?
Correct. I spoke with Chairman Blumenthal, the chairman of the Permanent Subcommittee Investigation. I'm the ranking member. He completely agrees with me that we must start doing transcribed interviews with all the witnesses now while memories are fresh. So that's really good news from my standpoint. My staff and me.
Oh, my bad. I'm going to get back to that real quick. I missed this. I don't know how I missed this. Copper Mutant said, hey, JJ, ready for all the We Love Joe. Oh, no, I already read that one. Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah, I already read that one. Apologize. I'm going to go back to this clip. Sorry about that.
Immediately started reaching out to local law enforcement. We've gathered a fair amount of information. Again, we're just scratching the surface. But, a couple of things that we found out. For example, the Secret Service did not even attend the 9 o'clock security meeting with local law enforcement. Pretty well put in charge the Butler County law enforcement to coordinate things.
That is huge. A huge news that sorry y'all, I'm smoking. That they didn't even show up to the briefing. That's very, very odd. You working with these people for the first time. You would think they would go. Briefings like that are pretty much mandatory. You're just gonna rely on the local police and not even sit and talk to them and try to figure things out and coordinate like that. You're just gonna skip the briefing. That sounds very, very odd. I don't know where they do that at. Any institution would have a briefing beforehand. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Okay, let's go back to this.
Law enforcement wasn't even on the same channel.
So
the SWAT and sniper teams.
Just to be clear, Senator, that was a 9 a.m. meeting on July 13th, the day of the shooting.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, Secret Service had been there for site visits. Weren't even there. Kind of turned over some of the outer perimeter stuff to local law enforcement. They weren't even on the same security channel. So the sniper and SWAT teams weren't on the same channel as the patrol officers, and they weren't on the same channel as Secret Service. So they had to relay things. One of the things we found out is that we've got a more detailed timeline. This picture is now on the internet, but a photo was taken by the local sniper team in the AGR building at 5:14 of Crooks. So again, we had pictures of this guy. Why wasn't he intercepted? There's so many unanswered questions here.
The pictures were taken at 5:14, and he was shot at 6:11.
Correct.
Okay.
And again, we've got a more so I'm going to be issuing a preliminary report. It's preliminary. It's just scratching the surface. We're primarily going to release that report to solicit more eyewitness testimony. If you took video, save it. Make a backup copy. We can glean things in terms of audio and in terms of, where the shots came from. Was it one rifle? Was it more than one? I've seen some pretty interesting video on the internet by experts that certainly calls into question what the FBI is telling us about a single shooter. Again, we're only just beginning this, but it is so important that people who saw things, that have information, they preserve it, they memorialize what they saw, because memories change over time. They can be influenced. So it's good news on a bipartisan basis. Chairman Blumenthal and I are dedicated to taking transcribed interviews with law enforcement and public, just members of the general public that were at that rally. No matter how insignificant your piece of information might be, it might lend to provide the full story of what happened, because the American public needs to understand what happened here.
So I know that, I tweeted out yesterday the fact that you're doing this bipartisan investigation, and I put on your email. You have an email that you want people to send information to, and I know that you'll tweet that later. But I got to get to this. After the shooter was taken down by Secret Service, the local law enforcement, and I know this from some of your preliminary comments, your preliminary findings, started taking pictures of the dead body, right? Can you tell us what happened then?
Correct. So that sniper team that was in the AGR building, they're the first ones that went up on the roof. They were the first to encounter the dead assassin at that point in time. Later on, other people joined them, and somebody told them to send the pictures they had taken to an ATF agent. which I think is very strange. What? And we called up that ATF agent. That individual said that he was with ATF, and now he's gone dark. We've also reached out to the Secret Service agents in charge on the ground. All we're getting there is a runaround. So
the senator cannot find the ATF agent who they sent the pictures to, which is weird. It's not standard protocol. Why would you send it to a whole entirely different agency that has nothing to do with them? And then why can't the senator find this ATF agent that they sent it to? Why is he dark? What the heck is going on here?
We are getting information from local law enforcement, and we appreciate that. But unfortunately, federal law enforcement agents, they're just saying, well, go through your congressional liaison. Again, that's going to be unacceptable. I wish I could rely and have faith in the FBI and the Secret Service to do a truthful accounting of this, but that's not been my experience with the Russian collusion hoax, and for years dealing with federal law enforcement. We need completely separate and independent investigations, and it has to start now.
So are you questioning whether or not there was a second shooter? Is that what you're questioning? Or if the shooter had a different gun?
I saw an extremely convincing video online. I know it's all over the place. There were 3 distinct shots early on, followed by another 5 in more staccato, more rapidly fired, and then the final one, which we believe took the shooter out. How do you explain that? I don't know. I'm not an expert. But the individual putting that video out says it clearly shows that there were at least 3 different weapons fired that day. Again, I don't know, but we can't trust the FBI and the Secret Service to do an honest and open and transparent investigation. That's just a very sad fact. So we've got to rely on other sources independent to really find out what the truth of the matter was on Saturday, July 13th.
So
think about the implications of what Senator Johnson just said. Not about the shooting and stuff, which is tragic, and not talking about that, but about our government. He said our senator, a sitting senator of the United States government, said we can't trust the FBI, we can't trust the Secret Service to do a real investigation. We have to depend on y'all, as in American citizens, to go and do the digging and try to find out stuff. Do you understand the implication of that? We can't trust our government. A sitting senator, not some guy off the street, a sitting senator said we can't trust the government to do a real, thorough complete investigation. We can't trust them. I need help from y'all. That is crazy. That is the biggest news I've heard in a while.
Let me go back to what happened after the shooter is dead. You just mentioned somebody goes up. So this is the guy in the suit who walks up the ladder, goes to the roof, and tells the locals, send those pictures to this cell phone. Who was that person?
Well, again, I'm not sure that was the guy. I think another county law enforcement gave the number to the other county law enforcement, the snipers, to send the text. Some guy in a suit walks up the ladder. They believe you Secret Service. I'm not sure whether they gave credentials, but that's part of again, Maria, this is so preliminary. I'm issuing this. I'm providing this information, a much more detailed timeline to prompt others to come forward. We need to complete this picture. We have a lot of puzzle pieces to fill in here.
Is it odd to you that the locals were being told to send the pictures to the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Agency, ATF?
What is that about?
Where does ATF come in?
The oddity starts with the fact that local law enforcement were just tasked with securing the perimeter, told to go cover that AGR building, not really told where to set up, so they set up on the 2nd floor. They went to that AGR building at 10:30 in the morning. So they were stationed there well in advance. They noticed this suspicious character at 5:10. They took a photo of him at 5:14. The president was shot at 6:11. So again, an hour has passed. Again, they don't communicate. They didn't have communication, same channels with their law enforcement patrol officers. They weren't in communication with the Secret Service other than going through the Butler County Communication Center. So again, it's everything you would assume about Secret Service protection of a former president was not true. It didn't happen. It's just baffling to me. It should baffle the American public. That's why we need to find the answers and find out what actually happened here.
It's not baffling if you know that they did this by intent. This is all intent. They allowed this shooter to shoot President Trump. It's obvious at this point. This is not, there's no way that they are that incompetent to mess up so many times. Like I said before, it's the perfect storm for this shooter. Like they missed so much stuff. They had pictures of this guy. They were looking at this guy. They watched this guy. They saw him on the roof. So many things had to go wrong for Secret Service for this to happen. It's not that, it can't be that incompetent. You can't be that incompetent. There's no way you could be the premier police of the world, aka Secret Service, and mess up this big. There's no way possible. And again, what scares me the most about that conversation was when Senator Johnson said that there's no way that he can't trust the FBI. He can't trust the Secret Service to do a real investigation. He's asking for our help. That is scary. That a senator can't trust the government to do a thorough investigation. That is spooky. That is the scariest thing I've heard in a long time, and it's coming from a sitting senator. Wow. I'm not even gonna watch that. I don't want to watch that. It's too much. Wall Street Ape said, with Hillary Clinton trending as the leading DNC presidential candidate, this needs to be seen by everyone. Clinton is on a call. They should have rigged an election overseas. If she's involved in rigging elections overseas, then they'll 100% do the same here. Let's watch. How long is this? Y'all watch it, and then I have another article I want to cover really quick.
And if we were going to push for an election, I think we should have pushed for an election in the Palestinian territories. I think that was a big mistake. And if we were going to push for an election, then we should have made sure that we did something to determine who was going to win. I think we should have pushed for an election in the Palestinian territories.
Wow. I'm gonna have to repost that. So let's check out this article here. No, this is not the article I wanted to. Let me see, where is it? Oh man, that's not the article. They changed the title or something. Yeah, it's the wrong article. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's see if there's any new information here. Oh, here we go. So this is the article here. Okay. So Harris thanks selfless Biden, declares intent to earn and win Dem nomination. So Vice President Kamala Harris issued a statement on Sunday thanking selfless President Biden for his leadership and praising him for stepping aside while promising to beat former President Trump in November as Democratic nominee. Quote, on behalf of the American people, I thank Joe Biden for his extraordinary leadership as President of the United States and for his decades of service to our country. His remarkable legacy and accomplishment is unmatched in modern American history, surpassing the legacy of many presidents who have served 2 terms in office, she said. It is a profound honor to serve as his vice president, and I am deeply grateful to the president, Dr. Biden, and the entire Biden family. I first came to know President Biden through his son, Beau, We were friends from our days working together as attorneys general of our home states. As we worked together, Bo would tell me stories about his dad. She said the kind of father and the kind of man he was, and the qualities Bo revered in his father, and the same qualities, the same values I have seen every single day in Joe's leadership as president, his honesty and his integrity. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get through this without laughing. His big heart and commitment to his faith and his family, and his love of our country and the American people. With this selfless and patriotic act, President Biden is doing what he has done throughout his life of service, putting the American people and our country above everything else. We all saw this coming, man. Come on. We all saw this coming. I am honored to have the president's endorsement, and my intention is to earn and win the nomination. Over the past year, I have traveled across the country, talked with Americans about the clear choice in this momentous election, and that is what I will continue to do in the days and weeks ahead. I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite our nation to defeat Trump and his extreme Project 2025 agenda, she said. Trump already laid out his policies, and it has nothing to do with Project 2025, even though Project 2025 isn't terrible anyway, but that's a whole nother story. She finished up by saying, we have 107 days until election day. Together we can fight, and together we will win. So that's what Kamala Harris had to say about everything. She's looking forward to stepping in. Alex Jones just posted something. I think this will be the last thing we'll go over. I'm gonna play this.
I've been on the air for 30 years, and this is the most important information I've ever covered. I just spent yesterday afternoon and all of today talking to more than a dozen top military snipers and Black Op commanders, Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, SEAL Team 3, you name it. Some of these guys are household names in the military community. Many of them did not want to go on air. Some of them are coming on the air tonight in just an hour or so, 4 p.m. Central, and tomorrow morning. And they're saying, hands down, inside job, beyond stand down, multiple shooters, but also, this is from multiple sources, including Jack Posobiec, who has incredible sources from feds on the ground that are good, that they found in his car, that's Crooks, the patsy, and at his house, sophisticated military-grade explosives. He had help. He had offshore sites. He had offshore servers. He flew a drone over the facility right before the rally began. This guy had massive help and was simply the front man. The acoustics with a whole bunch of engineers and others, and I talked to military that is looking at the acoustics, they agree, show that there was Crooks on the roof at 450 feet away, and right under him, the window where the other shooter was, and looking at the stands on how people were hit, and Trump's head turned, they couldn't hit him on his right side by his ear if right here is where Crooks and the other shooter are. It's the water tower, which the feds have been guarding all week, kicked Senator Josh Hawley out of the area, won't let anybody get around it, and notice they never had a press conference. Usually have a press conference that day, the next day. You hear about the gun, you hear about it all. They're totally silent on an AR-15, which the left says they want to ban. So I have talked to Army Special Operations, Delta Force, high-level SEALs, leaders, officers, you name it, and they concur with what I said 6, 7 days ago, 8 days ago. This was an inside job. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to try to poison Trump. They're trying to blow his plane up. Truck bombing, they all confirmed with that. Poisoning's the main thing he's got to watch out for. He can't shake people's hands, folks, because they can have like a fake glove that looks like normal hand, and it's got all sorts of deadly poisons on it that'll go right through the skin, like fentanyl, pure fentanyl. Touch somebody on the hand, they're dead in 10 minutes. So the deep state's in trouble. Their whole system's been destroyed. I told you 2 weeks ago, I said by the 20th, I believe Biden will step down. Happened today. And I just imagine, take a few weeks of this, and then he'll agree to step down a few days before, which he started signaling on the 17th, and then he's gone. I'm immersed in this. This is all I do. And it was so important for all these congressmen and senators to come out and say, look, this looks like an inside job, a stand down, because that puts pressure on Mayorkas and the deep state, was obviously behind this, to not try it again. That's why this is so important. Trump is 10 times stronger than he was before around the world, not just here. He's the real John Wayne, wrapped into the real George Washington. I mean, this is happening. So I'm going to have a bunch of guests on today. Huge ones tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central. The deep state already tried to shut us down 6 weeks ago. That's a whole other story. I knew then. I said, they're going after Trump. Something big's about to happen. I'm on record saying it to Laura Logan and others when she was in studio that day. So find that interview. That's where I said it more than 20 times. This is the time of maximum danger. You know, in Lord of the Rings, when goblins are near, or orcs, Sting, the sword starts glowing. When they get really close, it's white hot. The sword is white hot, folks. And so our eyes and ears are everywhere. But now they're going to have a lot more trouble killing Trump because they failed. And because at least 5 shots, now I think it's more like 8, all missed him. One hit the lectern, one hit him in the ear, but he was moving around. And by the grace of God, it did not happen. And this is providence. Amen. This is so incredible. So I'm shooting this at 2:59 Central. It'll be uploaded in a few minutes to Real Alex Jones on X. Be sure and follow me at Real Alex Jones on X. Get this information out, but the globalists aren't all powerful. We've got God on our side, and the world's waking up. I'm going to shoot a few more reports, but join me today at 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, Real Alex Jones, Infowars.com/show, because the enemy could pull anything now. A financial crash, a major cyber attack, I predicted they would do. Now we know that Microsoft was a test to put their new software in with backdoors to crash things and to steal elections. We're seeing all the key signs we predicted of a desperate deep state that is now testing its systems to just do incredibly horrible things. But if we get ahead of this, like we did with the COVID shots, we can mitigate how bad the damage is going to be. So please take this report, share it everywhere, and follow me at Real Alex Jones, and tune into the feed coming up in 1 hour as I shoot this, 4 p.m. Central at Real Alex Jones. God bless and good luck. Pray for Donald Trump.
All right, y'all heard that. Man, crazy. I'm definitely tried. The deep state tried to take out Trump. I mean, it was the perfect, like I said, the perfect scenario. Let's see. Nah, said she's Indian. She's not a black American, yet the graphic doesn't even have the word Indian on it. This is propaganda. That is true. Look at that. Wow. Well, they got South Asian American. They got South Asian. That's what they like calling themselves sometimes. So we can't say that. It doesn't have to say Indian. They got South Asian American. Let's see. All right, so I think that's it for now, y'all. I might put out some more videos throughout the day, what have you. But y'all, let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below.
I've been on the air for 30 years.
Thanks for
this is the most
important.
important.
Thanks for hanging out. Until next time. Peace.